Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So in today's video, we will be talking about a large fall storm system that will be developing across the upper Midwest. It will be tracking across the Great Lakes through southern Canada and into portions of the Northeast. Along with this system, there will be severe weather threat for mainly Michigan, southeastern Canada, portions of Illinois and Wisconsin. And for the Northeast, there could be some additional rainfall on top of the already much saturated soils. So a lot of things going with this storm. There will also be a cool blast of air following this system. That's something to watch for as well. The reason I'm calling this a fall system is, well, it's going to have a lot of characteristics of fall. Yes, astronomically, fall didn't start yet. It starts the 21st of September, but meteorological fall starts September 1st. So it's already underway. So it's more appropriate in our context to go with meteorological fall timeline, which is why it's appropriate to call it a fall storm. Okay, so let's start talking about this storm. I'll be showing you several models, and we'll be geeking out about the weather. Okay, so let's start off by looking at the GFS model. This is a global forecasting system. It is a very, very good model. I like it quite a bit. And let's begin. So notice right now we do have a system across southeastern Canada with its low pressure approximately right across central Quebec. As it pushes off to the north and east, it does drag a very, pardon that weak arrow, it does drag a very weak and disorganized cold front off the coast of the United States, and this is not the cold front that we're talking about, not the system that the title is about or referring to. And as we push this forward into time, notice that into 18 right there by early Tuesday morning and into Wednesday. Here's the time, by the way, for those folks that will want it, and I know a lot of people always do. Here is the time. This is the time distance that it's out from the present, and I'm recording this as of Monday as 4:13 Central Standard Time. And here's a day, 7 a.m. September 7th, and hopefully that's visible right there for you folks. All right, notice as we push this forward into 1 p.m. and into 7 p.m., this system really explodes. Again, this will be occurring tomorrow, so a lot of folks across Michigan, Illinois, Indiana will be seeing some storms and showers. This system will be pushing, you can see its circulation across Quebec and into southeastern Canada. Quite a bit of rain across the circulation from this system. There will be, again, that severe weather threat occurring right into Michigan, southeastern Canada as it pushes into Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. There will be a few storms that develop all the way into Oklahoma, but again, they won't really be of the severe kind. They will be more of just regular thunderstorms. And of course, the strongest ones are going to be right where this kind of cold front starts ejecting from this actual circulation. This is 1 a.m. to Wednesday morning. As we pushes into 7 a.m. Wednesday morning, right to the morning rush hour time frame, it's done for Illinois, Michigan, Indiana. It's pretty much over. However, you can see that cold front still pushes on into Ohio, Indiana, portions of upstate New York, Pennsylvania. We do have quite a bit of circulation, rain, if you will. That's kind of what I'm going to call it. Non-severe weather that is occurring across Canada, dropping, again, decent amounts of rain. And as we push this forward, I'm going to fix my mic here because it's a bit poorly adjusted there. So as we push this forward, this cold front does weaken, as you can see, but it does re-intensify, maybe not with severe thunderstorms, but with some potentially training thunderstorms, meaning heavy rain threat for the Northeast. And yeah, that's pretty much a worst case scenario. Notice this is Wednesday afternoon, New York City, much of Pennsylvania potentially seeing showers and storms. And as this pushes off into New England, again, it continues. The circulation is still there. A lot of that rain starts dissipating, but we continue to see those showers and thunderstorms occurring, dropping rainfall. Now, notice how we have these red lines kind of positioned towards the south and east, bulging this way, if you will. Let me see if I can draw my mouse out. Going this way. You see that one right there, one right there. And it's kind of forming a little trough. And of course, in meteorology, that means that there is a bit of cool air right there. And if we were to take a look at the 2-meter temperature anomalies, we do have that. Notice the GFS is a strong advertiser of some cooler temperatures. I do want to mention that this cool air will be affecting more locations than the actual rain from this system does. Notice this pushes into Arkansas, Texas, the southeast, Florida, Georgia, and the rain really won't be getting that far, but the cool air thankfully will be. Notice that by Friday, it's still hanging around, actually pretty profoundly, the cool air, if you will, but obviously the warm air does catch attention, and really by the weekend, we start seeing very, very warm temperatures across much of the United States. a few more cooldowns could be possible behind a few more systems that are going to be comparable to the one we have right now. So let's go back and start referring to the storm that obviously we're talking about tomorrow, but I want to switch a models right now, and I'm going to take a look at the NAM 3KM. This is a high resolution model in weather, and you can see it's different from the GFS. It's not these large blobs of precipitation that are light green colored, covering huge chunks. These are more direct, and it tries to predict the thunderstorm activity in specific. Notice, right now, not much going on. However, by even late today, it starts erupting across the upper Midwest. Notice by 10 p.m. today, a line of storms across the North Woods into getting close to Duluth, Lake Superior, and by 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., it goes into Wisconsin, the UP, into Green Bay, Michigan. A few may develop separately, and what I mean by that is, notice we have one right here, the main one. A second one develops behind that. You know, obviously, if there's a huge line that passes through first, it uses up a lot of that energy that the atmosphere has, and the second line won't be as significant. However, it's still possible to drop some rain, some heavy hail, or large hail, heavy rain, large hail, and that notice these how many lines develop, this model thinks that it will start kind of combining into one single line as this pushes into 2 p.m. tomorrow. So notice southeastern Wisconsin, Michigan. Again, the threat for severe thunderstorms will be the highest kind of, let me draw this out, across this area right in here. There will be thunderstorms developing into Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, right? But they won't be as likely to be severe. Some hail is still possible, but it won't be large, and the wind threats won't be as significant, as these storms will be a bit more reluctant to be long-lasting. And as they develop, literally 34 minutes later, they could fall apart and a new one forms. Versus in Michigan, you can see they stay put for quite a bit, definitely picking up some energy. Look at that. This is now 3 p.m., 4 p.m., just in time for the evening commutes, the afternoon commute, the start of it for Chicago, really the peak of it for potentially Detroit. Again, this line may be a bit an hour or two ahead depending on how the system unfolds. This is just one model's interpretation. Notice Illinois, Missouri, Indiana seeing quite a bit of storm activity. Obviously, circulation rain and some showers and brief thunderstorms possible to the north as well. It does start weakening as the sun sets. Notice it does start weakening into Illinois, Michigan. We see those storms kind of fade away. There could be still storms that pop up, and this model actually does try developing a secondary line late at night. Not as severe, a bit less disorganized. Sorry, a bit more disorganized. And now the attention switches to the northeast. So this is our 42, 7 a.m. Wednesday as we push towards 9, 10, 11, 12. Notice that the line, it doesn't look anything like a threat. And you may be wondering, okay, well, we're probably good across the northeast. Not necessarily. It's deceiving. This line, while it does take a while to develop, you can see it's 3, 4. It doesn't develop until later in the afternoon. And once it does, you can see these storms. Some of them could be big, powerful. Now, obviously, this won't be a large-scale rain event like we saw with the remnants of Ida. However, a lot of these areas in here are absolutely saturated with water. The soil column is literally the ocean. I mean, it's like walking on a bubble of grass in some areas. And if you see one of these cells pass through, drops an inch, 2 inches easily. This cold front has a lot of energy, and obviously that would cause some flash flooding and ponding. Normally, this wouldn't be that big of a concern, but it's already more of what's already on the ground compiled with this that makes the situation worse. Look at that. New York, by really late at night, sees those thunderstorms. New Jersey, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., potentially Baltimore, maybe, getting into Connecticut or Long Island, and it only goes out to hour 60. But the precipitation amount, notice for Michigan, obviously decent amounts. There's going to be a bit of that break between that second development and that first line of storms. You can see, and that break consists of really much of Ohio, western Pennsylvania, and upstate New York. But it does start redeveloping, and yes, I do think there will be some 2 to 3 inch amounts in certain pockets that obviously will lead to flash flooding where the rain has fallen already in large amounts this year. Here's the Illinois, kind of Indiana area. Notice that's generous rains. I did say at the beginning of this video I wanted to talk about the pattern, kind of beyond this, right? And let's talk about that. What will happen? Well, it's almost like a deja vu, a very similar system. It develops a bit earlier on, so you can see that it's already raining across the upper plains versus the current one that we're dealing with tomorrow will be developing really today across its first shines across Minnesota. This one's again already well developed by the time it reaches the upper plains. It does have a lot of rain. Its cold front is not as developed, but it could still drag some showers and storms, especially if it utilizes some of that tropical activity to bring some rain into the northeast and the eastern United States. Following that, well, look at this. We have yet another system. This one has a stronger cold front, more rain, again, for the Northeast, the Midwest, the Mid-Atlantic. Hopefully, between these storm systems, there's enough time to dry out, and it looks like as if that may be the case. But, yeah, definitely the rain chances don't end as a whole for the Northeast, but I would say drier, obviously, than what you've been seeing. I do want to mention, look across the South during this whole time period. Mexico, Texas, seeing a lot of tropical influence right there, and this model does a very good job of showing that, and, some of those amounts could be very, very high, causing some flooding. And there also just could be also a tropical storm that develops during this time frame. This model, GFS doesn't show that, but there are often times when it's this time of the year, the waters are warm, we have a lot of energy circulating there. A tropical storm may develop very quickly, make landfall without even the models kind of pointing it out very far out. So something to watch for sure. Now, pushing this model very, very far out, the GFS, what we do see is kind of a ending of these smaller systems. And again, at this point, this is September 15th. And we start seeing more of a drying period. We see the warmth from the west spill into the United States. So it could be a very warm pattern around mid-September, maybe a heat wave. And notice, we do start seeing storms across Iowa, Illinois, right? Not really connected to an area of circulation like we are seeing with the storms right now, like tomorrow, today, and then the one following that. Look at that. Large amounts of rain, not really, again, connected to any system. These probably going to have some severe thunderstorms with it. We do have a large area of water, if you will, rainfall off the coast, potentially some tropical system as well. And, yeah, not much, unfortunately, really west of the Rockies, but look at that. Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, seeing some decent rains potentially, and this kind of pattern continues with the GFS developing this large conglomerate of precipitation. Look at that. That is impressive into late September, and no snow obviously, but look at that. Each day a flare up of large areas of rain, heavy showers, and look at that as it pushes into the northeast. Definitely something that is impressive. Total accumulated precip from all of this into the next 15 days. Lots of rain targeting the Midwest, the Northeast, the South. Really, unfortunately, it's just east of the Rockies. It'd be nice to see some more activity here. The Northwest, Wyoming, Montana, maybe some chances for rain. Really, though, it looks more dry and hot, which is probably the worst case scenario with what you want to hear. Seattle, Oregon, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, you may be seeing some rain actually, and models are showing that. So that's some silver lining to that at least. I want to show you another model run because this is just one model run. Let's look at the one 6 hours ago. You could see there's quite a big of a difference, right? Not as much for the central United States. Still showed a bit for the Northwest, and it showed much more for Idaho and Montana. So already that's a difference, and that was just 6 hours before the one I just showed you. Let's take a look at a model run that goes 6 hours before the one that I just showed you again. And look at it. It goes back to the pattern that the current model run is showing. More across the Midwest and Northeast and not so much across the West. So again, it's a bit inconsistent. It's, the confidence is lower. But I would say if I were to make, my predictions here, since it's my channel anyways, the South would be wetter. Maybe not all of the South, but really you could see, the coastal areas could be seeing a ton, while not much further inland, it's not that much. So the further closer to the shore across the South, lots of rain. The Northeast, quite a bit of rain. I don't think it will be enough to cause great concern, but definitely not dry pattern. Midwest, I would say quite a bit of rain, especially for the northern Midwest and Great Lakes in the short term, and maybe more filling in with rain for Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Kansas in the long to medium range kind of forecast. The West, it's iffy. The Southwest looks rather dry, unfortunately. The Northwest could get in on some of that rain. Again, the models are a bit in disagreement about that. I want to show you quickly the temperatures, and that's including following that storm system that's developing right now across the Midwest. So notice, this is the forecast into Monday. So this is right now. And let's take this forward. 6 hours ahead. 12, 18. And look, we start seeing that little cool air following that cold front that passes in tomorrow. Again, this will be nice, cool air, nothing extraordinary, but definitely will be welcomed. Now, after that system passes through, you can see the cold air does hang around, not an intense, great magnitude, but it's there nonetheless, and it kind of prepares us for what's out west. Unfortunately, a lot of folks there will be dealing with much worse conditions than what they've been seeing. More heat, more dry weather, and that does eventually spill into the United States. And look at that, into the United States. The rest of the United States. The West is part of the United States. European model. Let's take a quick glance at this. This is Pivotal Weather. It's a great website. This was Tropical Tidbits. Both great websites. Just type in Pivotal Weather, Tropical Tidbits, and you'll find them. Just great free resources for weather models. And notice there's our system today, the European in agreement with the GFS. Look at that rain right there, that cold front. Again, pretty impressive. Lots of severe weather potential. Hopefully not, but there definitely is a potential for it. Not an outbreak, most likely, but, you know, it could be affecting your area if you live in Michigan, Illinois, Indiana. So that's something to keep an eye on for. Notice, again, it does go through that replacement. A weak cold front, though it does start, again, re-intensifying late Wednesday into early Thursday. Quite a bit of rain for the Northeast, unfortunately, according to the European as well. It does kind of linger around for a while, some showers, storms. But following that, like the other models, there is a bit of cool air as indicated by those red sloping lines. And I could just quickly show you the 2-meter temperature anomalies at this time frame, just to prove my point. And there we go. Look at that. Again, nothing intense in magnitude, but, you know, 5, 10, not even 10 really, 1 to 6 degrees below average. So that will be nice, especially if you've been dealing with the heat. That's definitely nice fall temperatures. Let's go back to the precipitation type and take off where we left it. There's our system pulling away by Thursday, and by Friday we start seeing another one developing. Again, the European does initialize its development a bit earlier on, just like the GFS did, and it races across very similar areas. The cold front not as well developed according to the European, and the GFS agreed with that, if you recall. And as we push this further, it does take that system out again. Rain for southern Canada and the northern Great Lakes. A bit of cool air behind it. Not as much because it's not as strong of a storm. Notice some tropical activity continuing across the south. And we do have this system and the 540 line. So again, that's coming down continuously, regardless of what patterns across the United States. The cool air, you know, the seasons are changing. And look, the European does develop a larger system with a powerful cold front. Very, very strong 995 circulation. Powerful cold front. Very long. And that does kind of rake it across the United States into portions of the east and mid-Atlantic. Fortunately, again, favoring the east with the precipitation, not really the northwest. But, yeah, definitely quite a bit of activity. And look, the European starts showing some chilly air across the northwest, and the European and the GFS did as well at this time frame. So, unfortunately, the European only goes out to 240. So we can't really see what it shows beyond this, but at least it's showing some sort of agreement with the GFS on that temperature. But let's take a look at its precipitation. If you recall, the GFS favored the Northeast, the Great Lakes, and the South. The European does very similar things. You could see the Great Lakes, maybe not so much Northeast, the European, which again would be arguably a good thing. Definitely favoring the South with some heavy precipitation. Again, closer to the coast, the better the chances. The West, Southwest, not so much. Maybe portions of the Northwest. And you can see it doesn't show that much for Seattle, Oregon as well. So these folks here, they just line out where the severe weather threat is for each given day. Today, notice it's across where that storm will initiate its beginnings, and that's across the northern Midwest into Minnesota, the UP, and southern Canada, and into Maine as well, potentially, with that lingering cold front that we have from that first storm. That's what we've been talking about, really, kind of since last week. Tuesday, notice that's tomorrow. It is, you know, it's slight, and that's expanded into Illinois, Chicago, large cities in here, including not Detroit, but it's really just on the cusp. Again, you shouldn't really look at that and be deciding, oh, that means we're not in severe weather. That means we are. Again, this is just a prediction. These storms may be a bit stronger than that, or sorry, they may be behaving in a different manner, and you know, this may be incorrect. Hopefully, it is though. Biggest threat, not the tornado. It's really the wind. You could see definitely impressive. The hail also a threat, but not as much. Definitely, though, there is a chance. And, yeah, so stay safe. Wednesday, there is no severe weather expected, though there is a general thunderstorm threat. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe. See ya.